Hey, Jenna, thanks for having me out. I really appreciate it. It's funny that you guys rocked up while I was having lunch. I got here just a little bit early and the taco truck happened to be coming by, so I thought I'd take advantage. Overall, not a bad place. What's funny is I did one from the same builder this morning, but it was a final inspection 2 blocks down the road, which is why I got here so early. And that one was in pretty good shape. So that said, there are a couple things that I want to show you, I want to let you know about. So we'll get started with the exterior. So unfortunately, because the siding has been put up on 3 sides, I'm not able to take a look at the sheathing underneath. But here in the front, they have not put up the brick yet. So it's still open for inspection. One thing I noticed is that here in the front, they're missing some nails. Up here, you can see that this cellulose sheathing is not fully nailed up there. Also here in the front, they're gonna go straight up through here between the roof and the wall with brick, but they have not put any kind of flashing up there yet. Normally, they've got flashing already put up to install the brick up to and then over, but I'm not seeing that yet. So having the flashing up there guarantees that flashing will fit into the brick between the courses where it needs to go, which was much better than having it sealed to the outside of the brick. So I'd be curious to see what they're gonna do about the flashing. Usually that's installed when they do the roof. All right, so here on the outside, a couple of things. First of all, these garages, they're supposed to have fasteners every 3 inches. Here in these areas, this is to nail that sheathing to this header. So that should have a grid of nails, 3 inches horizontally, 3 inches vertically. Also, they're gonna have to check with the plans, but this is the green thermoply. This is the thinnest stuff that they make. This is equivalent to 3/8 inch OSB, which is the plywood. I believe that they're supposed to use a thicker grade of this, either the blue or the red, instead of the green here at the garage. So they'll need to just triple check that, make sure it's okay, or needs to be changed. Coming into the garage, a couple little things. This is an interior shear wall. These nails, they've done very well at putting these at 3 inches on center. Except for here at the top, you can see that the upper portion is not nailed across that top edge as it is on the sides and on the bottom. So they need to make sure that that's nailed in. They did it up here. Did a great job of it up here on this other wall, though they did stop short with the nails on this one stud. So they need to add some more nails. God damn it. Son of a... That's what I get for talking and not paying attention. Now these subfloor framing components, these are I joists. This is TJI, Trusjoist, TJI 210s. The manufacturer says that you are not allowed to make any holes that are within 6 inches of the end or 6 inches from the bottom. That 6 inch by 6 inch square is the bearing zone, as they call it. And so not allowed to make any new holes. Now you can break out a knockout, a pre-drilled hole, and put whatever you want to through there, but they frown highly upon making new holes in that bearing zone. You can see that the Sparky came in here and running wires, did that in several locations. Speaking of holes in your I-joists, these square holes that are up here, you can see, here's a good example. You can see these square holes up here. These are about 9 inches tall, and they are about 4 feet from the bearing end. Now, according to their whole chart, the truss joist installation instructions, they have a chart that tells you for this size hole, it should be about 6 feet and change away from the bearing end. So that they need to figure out what to do about that. It's just too close, and it's not just one. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a whole bunch down the line. That just reduces the strength of these. And now these can be supplemented. There are engineered fixes for this, but they're gonna have to see what they can do about that. Didn't get me this time. All right, last thing with the truss joists. When you're using one as a ledger board, when you're nailing up to it, the back side has to be blocked as well. And you can see they have not put blocking here on the back side. They did put blocking here on the front side. So you need to have the same blocking on the back. Stairs, man, I always see things wrong with stairs. I only see one tiny little thing wrong with the stairs, not even that big of a deal. But I'll tell you what I like about these stairs. Whoever the contractor was did a pretty good job, because I don't see this very often. They drilled a hole at the corner of each of these. This is your stair stringer. What I normally see is they'll just rip a cut, and they'll make this cross. So the cut goes deep into the stringer itself, which greatly weakens it. And you can see you've already reduced the width of the stringer from a 2x12 to a less than a 2x6. And having these round holes drilled at the corners is the right way to do it. They also got pretty good cuts here at the foot of the stringer, so I'm really happy with the way that the carpenter worked these. Plus, they glued them. I mean, you're supposed to glue them, and so often I see that they don't. You don't want squeaky stairs. The little thing that I saw is that they came in here and did not put hangers on these joists. These are supposed to have a hanger in here. What they did instead, and I see them do this once in a while, they put this piece of blocking, and for most of them, they nailed to it this way. This one does not have any nails, you can see. Face nailed into that blocking. So it wouldn't hurt, at the very least, put some nails in there, like they did here. Ideally, that would have a hanger. Okay, here in the kitchen, a couple fun little things. Plumbers, man, plumbers just the bane of every framer's existence. They came in here and they pulled this blocking out to install their vent. Just left it hanging here. I don't know if this blocking is supposed to be put back in, but you can see it's not flush. So that is gonna stick out when they try to install the drywall. Your drain here has a negative slope. This drain should be going downward in this direction, and instead it's going downward in this direction toward your sink. You want your water to flow away and then down, not build up from this point to here. So this needs to be adjusted. And then up here, you've got your hot water line with the black insulation. Insulation is missing here, and they've put it back on here. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to make sure that insulation gets put on. All 3/4 inch lines are supposed to have insulation. And one last thing here in the garage, this drain line is for your washing machine drain pan. It comes all the way down here and then is broken. So this needs to be repaired. All right, moving on up to the upstairs. You got a few places where these partition walls with a single top plate have not been spliced. So that little split right there for the 2 horizontal boards that are butting up, that needs a connector there at that splice. A couple places around with that. Something else I noticed is that you've got your attic entrance here, and then you've got your filter for your makeup air, your fresh air vent is right here. So I'm trying to imagine how easy it's gonna be for you to get your ladder, stick it up here, and lean over to be able to unscrew the 4 screws, pop off the bracket, change out the filter, or clean the filter rather, and put all that stuff back together. It's gonna be very difficult. This would be much better, much more serviceable if it was in direct reach from the attic entrance. So I went ahead and put that on the report too. It's just not accessible, not easily accessible there. Walking through, man, I spent a lot of time looking at these truss members because I almost always see damaged truss members, either a broken web member or a damaged gusset plate. Man, for the life of me, I could not find an issue with any of these truss members. Or the roof sheathing above it. So I'm really impressed with the builder on this one. They were able to get these off of the truck, unloaded, put up here without damaging a single one that I can see. So that's it, really. A few little odds and ends that'll be on the report, but nothing major on this job, thankfully. It's a nice break to see a house that's gonna have a relatively short report. I noticed a little bit of writing on the walls. Was this you guys? Or was this one of the builders? Oh, that's hilarious, man. You see the funniest stuff written on these walls sometimes. At least it's not pictures of penises. Yeah, man, thanks again for having me come out. I really appreciate the opportunity to come out and take a look at your house. I'll get that report to you tonight. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.